Follow me as we journey to Iceland. We're taking a trip with Iceland Air to see the northern lights and scenic landscapes, flying from Seattle to Keflavik. The first thing we noticed about Iceland when we landed is that the landscapes were very barren with volcanic rock and no trees as we took the bus to the city of Reykjavik. The hotel we booked was called Hotel Cabin, and the name does not lie. To our hotel. Super budgety. Oh man. And check out our TV. It was a little cramped, but we made it work. Alright guys, we came into a little roadblock this morning. We missed our tour, so now we got our own rent-a-car. Woo! Check out these landscapes. It smells like sulfur. So we rented a car in Iceland and we decided to take the Golden Circle tour, which is a prerequisite tour of Iceland. On the way we saw the Icelandic horse, a special long-haired horse found here in Iceland at different ranches. The first stop on this Golden Circle was Gullfoss waterfall. We also saw the geyser in Iceland, which is where the word geyser originates from. Icelandic sweaters made of real wool from this guy. Next stop on the Golden Circle tour is Thingvellir, a national park and UNESCO World Heritage Site noted for its historical and geological importance. It is where the Icelandic Parliament was established, as well as where two continental plates form a rift. After the Golden Circle tour, we made it back to the city in time for sunset, where we watched it from a building called the Purlon. On day 2, we booked a volcano and glacier walk tour with Reykjavik Excursions. The first stop is Sólheimajökull Glacier, or the Sun Glacier, which is 2 hours east of Reykjavik, across a very rugged and raw terrain. The Sun Glacier is very sensitive to climate change and has gradually moved further and further away from the water as time has gone by. Our guide supplied us with the gear we needed so that we could walk on the ice.
1,000 years old ice. We seldom the glaciers can survive this close to the sea level.
Are we? Sun Glacier in Iceland.
It was 0 degrees Celsius and snowing as we made our way up the glacier. The next stop on our tour is Skógafoss waterfall, the amazing waterfall that we got an up-close view of before heading to the black sand beach.
Where are you? Nice. What color is the sand?
Beach.
Black.
We're in Vik, the black sand beach. The ash from the volcano. The volcano is right there. Right there. Taking the air out of our tires so we can go up this volcano. Hey, Mike. Next stop on our tour is Volcano Eyjafjallajökull. You may have heard of it. It was the famous volcano that erupted in 2010, causing major disruption in air travel. It's 5,417 feet tall. And we went up there using an off-roading vehicle. There's actually no off-roading allowed in Iceland, so we were on a real road. Iceland! Woo! Made it to the top of the volcano! Check out this whiteout. As I said, there's no off-roading allowed in Iceland, so yes, that is a real road there that we're driving on under that river. While at the top of the volcano, we happened to reach a waterfall that was naturally flowing, as well as a beautiful view of Vik down below. After coming down the volcano, there are two waterfalls connected by a trail, and one is called Seljlandsfoss, a waterfall that you can walk behind. After all that nature, we made it back to Reykjavik in time for an Icelandic dinner. Traditional Icelandic dinner. This is lamb soup, smoked trout on rye bread, and ice cream. And a good view. Cheers. Woo. Now it's time for a drink at the bar at the Harpa. This is the concert hall in downtown Reykjavik, built in 2011. It's made of geometric, honeycomb-shaped glass windows with a light show at night. It's truly spectacular to watch. Downtown Reykjavik is really beautiful at night. It's waterfront, there's lots of walking paths, and there's art everywhere.
Pretty good. But when I get old, I'm gonna use this a lot. I'm gonna like walk away from dinner checks. Say, oh, sorry, did I forget to pay him? So
got $22 in my bank account. Worked all day sucking police dick during that amount. My pop said I got a self-esteem problem, but daddy.
In addition to the great restaurants and electronic music clubs, there's also boutique shopping as well as street art. We're in downtown Reykjavik. Check out these stylish restaurants. And another one. Not sure what they have on the menu. So here's the deal. Downtown Reykjavik is pretty happening at nighttime. There's lots of comedy clubs, music clubs, and art. On day 3 of Iceland, we hit up Reykjavik during the daytime, went on a museum tour, and the Blue Lagoon. So the Berlin Wall, and Ronald Reagan met with Gorbachev right here 3 years before the Berlin Wall went down. It's downtown Reykjavik in the daytime, beautiful skyrise buildings, and they're doing a lot of development. The roundabouts here, there's hardly any stoplights. Check out these mountains. Wow. One thing I was really fascinated about with Reykjavik is the amount of street art. It was pervasive and it was everywhere, including from famous street artists like D-Face. This is the currency of Iceland. It's called a krona, and they have different symbols of maritime creatures on it. Lots of bike lanes in Reykjavik. The city made a lot of investments with tunnels and bike lanes so that people could be eco-friendly. Embassy of Denmark. Really cool architecture, looks like a castle. Right next to the museum is Fjorden, which translates to the lake or the pond. It's filled with tons of geese and swans. Oh, made it to the art gallery. Check it out. This is downtown. Let's go in. Woo. This art gallery featured a lot of contemporary art, including one Picasso. This is Jacqueline, one of Picasso's wives. The rest of the art was mostly landscape paintings of Iceland done by Icelandic painters. A little freaky. Some fun facts about Reykjavik is that it has 120,000 people. It is the northernmost capital city, and it was settled by the Vikings. We did a lot of walking during our city tour. The city is very compact and easy to walk or bike. Something interesting about Iceland is they don't have an army, but they do have a coast guard. These are puffins. Aren't they cute? Cool cafe. It's in a greenhouse. Cheers. Cheers. Woo. My favorite building in Reykjavik. This is the Harpa. Walking down the beautiful, beautiful path in downtown Reykjavik. Just check out this view. It's very unique right here. There's not many trees in Iceland, but there's one growing out of this rock. Arrived at the Blue Lagoon. After a 45-minute bus ride with Reykjavik Excursions, who picked us up right from our cabin hotel, we arrived at considerably the most famous tourist attraction in Iceland. Got a skier smoothie. This is the Icelandic yogurt. After our swim, sorry no pictures, it was time to return to the city for a very special night tour of the Northern Lights. Board the Northern Lights cruise. That is our ship. Right there. We gotta wear some overalls. Check out these outfits. Setting out to find Northern Lights. The city of Reykjavik. So the boat ride was about 2.5 hours long, and yes, it happened to be a clear night and we saw the Northern Lights. It was spectacular. However, it didn't quite translate to my phone very well, so I substituted this video of it instead. It looks exactly the same, only sped up. Enjoy. Day 4, this is our last day in Iceland, and although the night before we saw one of the wonders of the world, we were lucky enough to see the Northern Lights. We wanted to keep going and cap off our trip with another city tour so we could see the famous church. Walking around the city, we found some more art, some beautiful, colorful buildings, and we're heading there. This is Hallgrimskirkja, a Lutheran church built in 1945, the 6th tallest structure in Iceland, built to resemble the basalt lava landscape of Iceland. Our tickets going up. After taking an elevator ride to the 8th floor and taking a few steps up, we reached the panoramic 360-degree view of Reykjavik, where we could see all of the beautiful, colorful buildings. Now it's time to grab a cup of coffee at Reykjavik Roasters. They don't mess around with coffee here. This is what Icelanders think we Americans like to eat, or not. Heading back to the hotel, we stumbled upon a D-face mural, and this is our ride back to the Blue Lagoon through Reykjavik Excursions on our airport transfer. The lead up to the Blue Lagoon is quite magical. The entire landscape is filled with baby blue water from the geothermal power plant. Where are we? Blue Lagoon. Bam! The geothermal power plant that makes the water warm, and it's blue because of the silica. It's time to say goodbye. One last glimpse at the Icelandic landscape of beautiful volcanic rock and moss as we head to the airport. Heading out of Keflavik Airport, we took the Iceland Air flight back to Seattle. The seat in between us miraculously stayed empty, so we were able to sprawl out on this economy flight. I hope you get to visit Iceland soon. What a trip. We had a great time. It's a beautiful country. TAKK Iceland. We hope this video helped you in planning your trip to Iceland. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up or write a comment down below and make sure to subscribe. Signing off, Squiggles.